Oh, 50! That's right, we're on Ask Hypnotica 50 right now. This is a milestone for me because I wanted to get to 100 and I'm halfway there. So, actually, I'm going to go for more than 100, but hey, 50 is a good start, okay? It means I've done due diligence over time. So, we're going to get right into it. And guess what? It's 50, and guess who we have here? Felipe. Remember Felipe? That's right, Felipe. He's the one that came across like, hey, show me how to do this. No, thank you, nothing like that. I said, sorry, Felipe, can't do. So Felipe came again. He said, hey, how you doing? Can you do me this? Didn't say thank you. I said, Felipe, that's two. Felipe came across, and I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, although there's a twist to the story. Here you go. You ready? It says, hello, Eric. How's it going? It's me, Felipe, again from Brazil. I just want to apologize for the way I expressed that to you, and your advices mean a lot because I am improving every single day. If you could answer my question somehow, I would be thankful. Your advice helps me and a lot of guys around the world. Have a nice day, Eric. Felipe, 100% better, man. I'm stoked for you. That was wonderful. Now you're learning the trick on how to, be smooth, have some character, have some personality, make people want to do that. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to answer your question. But, Felipe, you didn't put the question here. I can't remember the question. Remember, I got a whole list of Ask Hypnoticas here, man. So if I don't get the right one, I delete them because then they're out of my way and then I can kind of like manage it a little bit more. So I can't remember exactly what the question was. So I'm feeling bad now, Felipe. Well, not really, but you did everything right, Felipe. You really did, okay? But you're going to have to send me one more email. That's right, Felipe. And you're going to have to put the actual question in this format because you did a great job. So, Felipe, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, man. One more time. We'll work on it, though. It's going to be a good one when you do get it, all right? So we are going to move to another question, all right? And this question is very interesting, okay? This is probably not your most feel-good question, but we're going to get into it, man. So here it goes. This is from Jay, and his question is, I am 30 years old. I'm a 30-year-old guy living in America. I grew up in a very sexually repressed culture. Well, in America, it depends on where you're from. Okay, maybe you're Amish or, I don't know, all the Mormons I know, they fucking lie. Anyways, but a very repressed culture and never even saw my parents kiss or hug. Okay, I've slept with one girl at 21 and haven't had sex since. I'm in a constant state of survival financially and anxiety. I am in shape, decent looking, intelligent, etc. But it seems like I'm fucked when it comes to relationships because I've gotten 18 plus years of negative conditioning around that realm. What's the solution to this? Am I hopeless? Should I blow my brains out? I wouldn't recommend that last one there, okay? Because you're never going to get laid after that, all right? And plus, my whole theory on that is, man, if you fucking do kind of shit like that, then guess what? You get to get back in line because you're going to have to come through this physical realm again until you evolve and graduate from it. And space is cold, and that line I know is like out the door into space. So you're going to be thousands of miles out there. Look, man, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, you're here, man. Let's handle that shit. Okay, and then there's a couple little victim things there. Okay, listen, I want you to go all the way back if you can, and remember. All right, remember if you can. Once you came out of the vagina, you're laying there in the little bed, okay, with probably a bunch of other naked little boys and girls around you. You didn't give a shit. You were expressive. You were laying there naked, okay? So that right there is the very first neurology that you have. That exists inside you. Now, things that came on top of that is what society or maybe your parents taught you or you learned. But the nice thing about that is there's that deeper layer that's always in there. The very core of who you are, that's that little baby, shitting on yourself, peeing on yourself and laughing about it, having a good time, looking at your neighbor, he's probably peeing on you and he's laughing or she's laughing, okay? We all have that at the very core. Everything else is learned, right? Now, in order to unlearn, and everyone must unlearn, okay? You're not the only one out there, okay? Everyone had to go through it. I had to go through it. Remember, when you first come into this world, society and what your parents basically, taught is the learning that you get. Then comes manhood. Manhood gets to the point where you're not victim anymore. You're basically saying to yourself, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the work. And I'm going to go back through and I'm going to try to figure out, and I'm going to write stuff down, and I'm going to figure out who I am, what I'm about, examine my life, examine my beliefs, okay? Figure out, what was taught, what was learned to me, and then say, I'm going to live my life by my rules. And you know what? It's not an easy thing to do, okay? A lot of people just ignore it, and a lot of people just live their lives unconsciously. So, yeah, you may have had a sexually repressed culture. Like I said, in America, I don't know where that is, but hey, if you said you did that, you did that. Now, not seeing your parents kiss and stuff, okay, yeah, that's an impression. That's an imprint that you had. However, you also get to imprint through thought process of, what you want, okay? You get to condition your mind through visualization, things that will feel good to you. And you have to put in the work, okay? And there's a lot of professional help that you can get. There's a lot of people, NLP people, hypnosis people that, excuse me, I had a drink of a shake before, that can basically help you recondition your thinking and to start getting you to feel good and comfortable about being intimate and being able to kiss and being able to enjoy another person's company. So and I'm going to say this to a lot of guys out there, because I get a lot of questions, but they're not really questions. They're just kind of statements. The more information I have, the better I can help you guys out, because sometimes it's like there's a lot of other stuff going on. And so if I can get a full description of what's going on, I can better help you on these things. Now, listen, there's a lot of things you can do, okay? As far as anxiety, there are certain herbs that can help take care of those kind of things, okay? You might want to look at some of your rhodiolas, things like this. And I just want you to understand one thing, okay? Just because the past doesn't equal the future, remember that, all right? But you're going to have to do the work, okay? You're going to have to put yourselves in environments and situations that may be uncomfortable, okay? I know I had to, and a lot of other guys had to, and there's still guys, millions and billions of guys all around the world have the same kind of thing that you're going through, okay? Some people have never been laid, all right? So at least you have that in there, all right? So there's lots of things you can do. Hey, well, never mind, I'm not going to go there. But anyways, there's lots of things you can do to resolve this and start to decode and undecrypt, okay, the learnings that you had. So here's another thing, all right? Taking responsibility, okay? This is like, and I've said this before, boyhood, manhood. You cross the line into responsibility when you stop saying, you know what, I'm going to live my life my way, okay? And you write down the things like, remember when I first started this, I wrote down 140 things that I didn't like about myself, beliefs, and I did the work. My friends would sometimes go, hey, you want to come out? And I would be sitting there geeking out, just, writing my stuff down, saying, no, I'm just going to chill for the night. And I'd be deconstructing my thought process, okay? And I went to the extreme, and I put myself in a lot of situations that society really doesn't approve of, but it was my own conditioning. So don't underestimate the ability to meditate on the vision of you becoming better, the vision of you where you see yourself intimate with others in a loving relationship, okay? I firmly believe in that whole process of like The Secret and affirmations and things, but you got to do the work. You can sit there and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to see myself like this, okay? And you're going to use your breath and you're going to breathe it in. And when you get that, you get little hints and hits of things that you can do. Now, this is not a sit back and just kind of chill ordeal. This is a actively get up and put yourself in situation kind of thing that you need to do, because if you don't, hey man, you know what, you're going to live the same way that you did. And listen, sex, it's pretty simple, okay? Got a couple holes, you put it in, you get to experiment a little bit, okay? To me, once you understand and you find that intimacy, okay, and you find that ability to connect with someone, and you find just that overall cooperation between your energies and your spirit and your mindsets and knowing what you want and basically writing things down that you want and having boundaries and going the distance and meeting people and getting out there, okay? These are all things that are habits, okay? And you can get better with any habit. You can get better with any behavior. You can, sit back and analyze and figure out, what your strengths, what your weaknesses are. This is all about examining your own life and figuring it out, okay? This is your gift, okay? This is your present. You were presented with all these things. Now you get to go in and be the problem solver, okay? The behavior generator person, the idea generator person and create new things and get your way out of it. Start thinking your way out of this. Okay. Go do things that put yourselves in those situations. So, like I said, there's a lot of stuff. If you're struggling financially, okay, I'm not the financial guy. I'll tell you that. Okay, it's one of the things that I still work on. Okay, just because a lot of people steal my shit. Okay, so I have to work extra hard. I'm not that organized. So if you're talking about financial stuff, there's plenty of other people besides me to help you there. Okay, you want to talk about sex and drugs and rock and roll and things like that, I can help you. Okay, as far as like financial stuff, way better people. Just be upfront about that. So, but here's the thing, man. If you're decent looking and you're in shape and you're intelligent, you might want to ask questions too. Like the people that you do know, say, hey, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What do you see in me? Okay, there's a lot of insight that can be had from that. Don't be afraid to ask people what your strengths are, what they like best about you, and what they like least about you. All right. The better you can do that kind of thing, the better you can kind of get a grip on things. If 10 people say, hey, you know what, you're kind of an asshole, then you might be an asshole. Okay. If 10 people say, hey, your strength is that you're super outgoing and maybe you're just a little bit too touchy, handsy, maybe that's an issue. Okay. So have the balls to basically examine your life and figure it out. Like it takes balls to really look at yourself. And trust me, not everything or what people look at and feel and have to get real information back is always pleasant. I know for a lot of things, like I had some serious things that I had to work on and that I had to look at, and it could be everyone. Everyone has their own shit that they got to go through, okay? But the thing is, once you go through it, which I did, and got to the other side, there's a freedom there. And that freedom is about, understanding like, cool, like you did the work. You now get to live by your rules. You get to create the way you want to and stop letting society and your parents and your past, okay, affect you anymore. Deconstruct the past, okay, because all it is just little molecules of, feelings attached to it and things like this. Okay, you can deconstruct all that. And then you really get to like a neutral point and say, well, what do I want to create? And think about that and focus on what is it that you want to create. And then start mapping that in your mind. Start making, boom, those images, those movies. Start rehearsing that in your mind, seeing yourself there. And then, because you're formulating that in your mind, you're setting the organizing principle for your mind to start moving that direction, okay? When you get those little hints of inspiration to go do the things that you're going to learn and get yourself better at, you got to do the work. You got to follow through. And you got to go up there. So with that, I know it's a little vague, but, it's hard to guess on these things because there's not a lot of information here. The bottom line is, man, come on, power yourself up, okay? Really get focused about this, get detailed. This is your life. Examine it. Kick ass in it, okay? And if you have help, man, go to someone that's a professional that can really help you get out of it. Not every person can think their way out of it. Matter of fact, about once every 3 years, because I'm always constantly pushing, I kind of just can't get my way out of it. It's what Einstein said. You can't usually solve a problem on the same level as the problem. And I'm pushing. I'm good at doing things for myself and getting my way out and pushing and stretching. But every once in a while, like I said, about every third year, I just run into something. And I have a couple people that I'd go to and I'd say, hey, you know what? I just can't get out of this one. I'm like, maybe I'm missing it or something like this. And all of a sudden, I just go there and boom, it's so simple. It's like I make the shift and boom, I'm at the next level. So don't not think that you can't ask for help because there's plenty of help out there. And get someone to help you move through it. Get on some of these forums. I got a great forum. Start asking questions, and start whittling away at it and you'll get there, okay? But you got to put the time in. You got to have the expression to tell, hey, I just need a little help. It's okay. We're guys. We all need a little help. And on my site, Hypnotica the Master Circle, you can go there. You'll get a lot of great help from a lot of great guys. And hey, we'll walk you through this, my friend. So with that, this is Hypnotica 50, and I'm out of here. Boom.